Hello everyone. I know a lot of people are looking for easy pathways to migrate abroad this year, and this video is about 4 countries where you can migrate to with easy requirements. And by easy requirements, I mean that you don't need a job offer, you don't need a degree, like there's no educational qualification at all to migrate to these countries, through this pathway. And there is no language proficiency, right? No language requirement at all. Amongst other requirements that are needed in some certain countries, right? So stick with me in this video if you're looking for easier visas, right, to migrate this year. If you're just meeting, my name is Jackie. You're welcome to my channel. Do subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you can get more updates on easy ways you can migrate abroad this year. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for all the support. Thanks for coming back to watch my channel. And if you're interested in content about how to make money online, then do check out my second channel, Jackie Finance. That's where I share all the content on how to start and run profitable online businesses, make passive income, and gain financial independence. Okay, so about how to migrate abroad on an easy visa and fast visa this year. So there's this pathway, right? I've talked about it a lot on my channel, but it seems like people are not really considering it that much. And I wonder why, because a lot of people are taking advantage of these particular visas, especially people from the West, people from America, the UK, they are all like rushing down to these countries using this pathway. One of the countries I'm going to mention in this video, right? The very first month that this visa was out, they got 2,000 applications. Like they were overwhelmed with visa applications, right? So I really want my audience to take advantage of this, because when I have one-on-one sessions with people, they do tell me, the issues they have and why their plans to relocate abroad is delaying. And the top reasons is because of, number one, educational qualifications. A lot of people don't really have like top degrees. And another reason would be that, in fact, number one is actually because they don't want to write IELTS. People do not really like the language, requirements that goes on in most of the countries that people would love to migrate to. Most people were like, I don't want to write IELTS. I hope there's no IELTS there. That's always like the first question when people talk to me, during our private sessions. And education should be number two. And then number three will be finding a job abroad. Because to get a work visa for any country you want to go to, the requirement is that you need to have a job offer. And people, they find it hard to get jobs abroad. And then the next reason, people's migration plans are being delayed is because they don't have the funds, to sponsor their education. Because study being, the easiest route, to migrate, especially to the top countries people would really love to go to, right? The school fees in those countries are quite high and people cannot really afford it. So this visa I want to share in this video is one where all these 4 things I've mentioned are not requirements. And yes, another requirement that, is hindering people from traveling would be the age requirement, right? And on this pathway I'm about to share with you, age is not a problem. There's no English language requirement, no language requirement. You don't need a job offer. You don't need a degree. Like there's no educational, requirement at all. So that is why I say it is easy requirements. It is low requirements. The only requirement that is important is that you have the funds to sponsor yourself. Okay, so I'm talking about the digital nomad visa. Yeah, I have a full playlist on this kind of visa on my channel. And this is like the easiest way to migrate this year, So there are a lot of countries that currently have this kind of visa. There are like over 30 countries that have this digital nomad visa right now that you can apply to. And they have different requirements, different, income requirements. So I just like streamlined it to what I picked as the top 4. And the criteria I used to pick this top 4 is the income requirement. Of course, it's, the lowest affordable ones. And the locations as well are pretty good locations that people should travel to. A lot of benefits, right, of migrating to these countries. And another requirement why I picked this top 4 is because there is a pathway to settlement in the country. On these digital nomad visas, you can settle permanently in these countries and even get citizenship, right? So that is why I compiled this list of 4 countries I think you should consider while migrating abroad on this nomad visa. What is the digital nomad visa? Let's start from there. A digital nomad is a person that works remotely, right? And has a flexibility of moving from place to place. Like, you don't particularly need to be in a particular location to make your money. You can work remotely. You're a freelancer. You're free to be anywhere while your source of income remains stable. So that is who digital nomads are. And with the rising interest, in work from home, freelance work, remote work. So many companies now are, hiring staff to work for them remotely. So you can see a company in the US, right? And they are hiring staff in Rwanda. You just live in Rwanda while you're working for a company in the US. So that is really popular these days. Since 2020, right? A lot of companies have embraced the whole remote work thing, and many countries are taking advantage of this rising popularity in remote work, and they are creating visas for remote workers to come into the country and reside while they are working for their companies abroad. So that is basically who a digital nomad is and what the digital nomad visa is as well. Okay, so let's talk about the advantages of traveling on the digital nomad visa, right? So the number one thing would be that you have this long vacation, while maintaining a stable source of income. So you travel to this new country, you're exploring the country, you're having fun, exploring the culture, the place, the people, and the food while you're still earning your money, right? You're still having a stable source of income. You're still able to work, you're making money, and while still living this vacation kind of lifestyle. So that is one advantage of being on this kind of visa, is that there is an available infrastructure and services, that digital nomads need. And top on the list would be internet service. Digital nomads work online and internet is so important to them. So these countries have very wonderful internet infrastructure, high speed internet, and quite affordable as well. And some of these countries even go the extra mile of creating these digital nomad hubs. Like, they have co-working spaces, offices, places where digital nomads can go and work easily. And they're kind of like subsidized, for digital nomads. Some countries do have that. And some of these countries have also arranged like accommodation for digital nomads, like at a reduced cost. So you don't have to like go into town to look for accommodation. The government has provided that, for digital nomads to like rent those spaces at a reduced cost, right? I think this is truly amazing. And another advantage of being on this visa is the low requirements. I've talked about that already. It's amazing how low requirement this is, where you can just move to these countries. You don't have to think about looking for a job there. No one is going to ask you if you're a graduate or not. No one is going to ask you how old you are. It's just available to anyone that you just have the income requirement and you're on your way down to the country. It's that amazing. Okay, so what are these top 4 countries on my list? The number 1 country I'm going to talk about is Portugal. Like, you guys are not taking Portugal seriously enough. This country is super underrated. I don't know what you guys are doing. Moving to Portugal is one of the easiest. Like, Portugal has one of the easiest immigration rules in the world, like easy visa application, easy visas, and the country is super amazing. Like, Portugal has all the top things you're looking for. Yes, Portugal is not like super technologically advanced. Infrastructure may not be like so great like America, Canada, but Portugal actually has the things that you need to have a high quality life. Healthcare is so good, so amazing, and it's so accessible. Education is amazing, so accessible, that the quality of life in Portugal, you live in Portugal and you just feel like you're living. There's no rat race, there's no living to pay bills. You're at peace, breathe fresh air. The scenery is beautiful, the weather is good, one of the best in Europe. And Portugal is in Europe. It's an EU country. It's in the Schengen zone. I mean, why are you guys not rushing Portugal? Okay, let me send you on an assignment. Go Google Portugal, right? I have a playlist of Portugal. The most watched video on my channel is a video about Portugal. Like I talked about like everything you need to know about Portugal. You're going to see it linked up here and in the description box as well. I know that people are used to the countries that they know about. Okay, we know UK, we know Canada, we know America, and people just stick to those countries. But it will interest you to know that Americans are running down to Portugal. Britons are running down to Portugal. Like, just do your research and be open-minded. You know, when you hear about a new country, go Google it, find out what's up with this country. Don't just fix your eyes on the countries you know already. You know, research new countries and find out new things about new places, explore, you know, leave the UK alone, leave Canada, explore other countries, you know, do your research. So Portugal is like so amazing, and they have this digital nomad visa. It was launched in November, and 2 days ago, I know someone that, you know, got a positive response. He was granted the visa and he's now ready to travel down to Portugal. The income requirement for this digital nomad visa is 4 times the minimum wage, and the minimum wage in Portugal is 705. It's supposed to be increased this month. They've not yet, you know, announced the new minimum wage, but it is 4 times that, which is about 2,820 euros. So if you have an income of that every month, you'll be required to show only 3 months bank statements to show that yes, you know, you have this money coming into your account every month. Then you can apply for the visa, and this visa is a pathway to settlement. You get an initial 2 years residency, then 3 years residency, and then you're free to apply for permanent residency and citizenship. Like it's a super pathway to settle in Europe. And the number 2 country I want to mention is Malaysia. Yes, I know obviously people don't know much about Malaysia, but you really need to like research into Malaysia. Malaysia is a country in Asia, and it is super amazing, right? So do your research about Malaysia. I'm not going to talk much about it, just do your research, okay? I also have a video about it. You'll find it up here. So the income threshold for this one is like the lowest. It's only $2,000. So if you have an income of $2,000, you're free to apply for the Malaysian digital nomad visa. And this is a country that, you know, once they opened their visa, they had like 2,000 applications like immediately in November. So it's a really hot country. A lot of people from the West are taking advantage of all of this. Like, it's always people from the West that take advantage of all these kinds of things, you know. Africans are like, oh, what? I don't know much about this country. I want UK, I want Canada. You know, people from the West are more adventurous, they explore more. So whenever they hear of any visa anywhere, they're always the first to apply for them before Africans know that, wow, this is a place to go. So do your research about Malaysia, see if it's, you know, the kind of place you like to go, and then take advantage of this digital nomad visa. And yes, I didn't mention this in Portugal. Portugal has, you know, a digital nomad village. Like, they've built this community for digital nomads, and it's in Madeira Island. Like, it's so amazing. When you go there, you're going to be meeting like nomads from so many countries. You know, it's a melting pot of cultures. It's like a dream. I don't even know how to describe it. It's so beautiful. It's like a fairy tale. And this Madeira Island is considered to be the European version of Hawaii. Like, it's a beautiful place, so breathtaking. And then for Malaysia, right, the government has actually set up, you know, these co-working spaces, accommodation for digital nomads, and they have it in different cities. They have it in Kuala Lumpur, they have it in Penang. You know, they've just built like this infrastructure for digital nomads. It's like super amazing. Like I said, do your research, okay? And then the number 3 country is Malta. And Malta, the income threshold for their digital nomad visa is 2,700 euros. Malta is a country in Europe as well. So I also have a video about it. And also do your research to see if Malta is the kind of place you want to live. And then the number 4 country is Spain. Spain needs no introduction, but obviously you need to do your research, because Spain is not like, you know, one of those places people really want to migrate to. You know, we all talk about UK, US, Canada, but there are so many amazing countries out there that you can migrate to, right? So many amazing ones. And Spain is in the EU, Schengen country, everything. Beautiful, beautiful country. And their own digital nomad visa is like so new. Like, they're supposed to open applications this month. So one of these days is going to be open and I'm going to do a video about it. But I've talked about all the requirements before. The video is up here, so you can check it out, gather your documents, and get ready for when the visa application will be open. Look into this digital nomad visa. If I were you, I would take 3 months, because you need 3 months bank statement, and plan your income and see how you can meet the income threshold to apply for these visas. Like, the requirements are so low, you would agree with me. Once you have your money, you're off, right? So you don't need to like look for a job, you don't need education, you don't need this or that. So just do your research into these countries, check how is the healthcare, how is the weather, how is the housing, cost of living, those things that mean a lot to you, those things that make you decide on which country to migrate to. Check out if they have those things in these countries, and then see how you can take advantage of the digital nomad visa. Like, it's easy, it is no requirement, and it is fast to migrate. So let me know what you think about this in the comments. Are you open to this kind of visa? If you are, let me know, and I'll do more videos for other countries that offer this kind of visa, so you can have more options. If you found this video valuable, do give it a like, that is a thumbs up, and just support me to let me know that you appreciate the content I share. And your likes are going to determine if I'll do more videos about this. Just kidding. Anyway, share this video with others, spread the word, let people know that there are other ways and other countries do exist in the world that you can migrate to. All right, subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this that will help you in your migration journey this year. My name is Jackie, and I will see you in my next video.